YouTube? LMS Tactical here with a different kind of video. It's going to be very different. I'm going to tell you a story is what's going to happen, and here's the caveat. I'm not 100% sure why I'm telling you this story. Literally, it came to me that I want to get this story out. And the caveat itself is going to be long. The whole video, this is not going to be a quick video. I mean, if you're looking for something quick and meaningful, I suggest that you stop right now and go watch YouTube videos of monkeys in the zoo throwing shit at spectators or something. This is not going to be exciting at all. And it's not meant to be sad, and it's not meant to garner sympathy at all. I mean, I hate to use this, it's so overused, but it is what it is. I mean, every one of us has our own stories in life and has our own defining moments and our milestones, things that impacted us. And this is one of the many that I have. And there's a couple of reasons I want to get it out. Well, I mean, I could drop dead of a heart attack, tomorrow. Any of us could. And I think that the story, or the end of the story, is so important that I think it would be a shame if I left this earth and didn't get it out there. And though some of you know that I'm writing a book right now, and I'm not making much progress on that because I've got some distractions in my life. But hopefully I'll get that done. I mean, I plan on it. And I have like a lot of frustrated writers. That's my dog growling in the background. He wants attention. He's chirping. That's what he does when he wants me to pet him. Charlie, I'm trying to make a video. So basically, see, he interrupted me and I don't know where I was. You stop that. He hates to share my attention. Yeah, so I've actually started this chapter. I mean, in a different book. So I mean, every frustrated author's got all these books they want to write, and I'm no different. Maybe they won't get written, and so that's why I'm telling the story. It's completely out of context from what I normally do, and you're just gonna have to, if you choose to watch it, you're just gonna have to bear with me on that. A little bit of background so that the story will have a little bit of context. And again, this is not meant to be a sad story. I mean, all these things made me who I am today. So it's important that you know some of these details or the story won't make sense. I was raised by a mother. I'm the youngest of four. The other three are my sisters. So I had no male figures in the family. No, my father wasn't there. So my mom was extremely abusive in many ways. Full-blown alcoholic. Abused drugs beyond belief, everything you can imagine. Everybody says they come from a dysfunctional family, and I think that we set the bar for that definition. So there was a lot of violence and a lot of bullshit in the house. Very uncomfortable childhood. So we were in a neighborhood and that bordered it was Inglewood and Hawthorne, which is suburbs of South Los Angeles. So we were very close to South Central and Watts and that area. And, being a little white kid in an area that was rapidly becoming all black, then you add the red hair. My hair used to be very bright red. Of course, I'm old now. But, so I took my share of ass whippings, and, I couldn't tell you how many bikes I lost in terms of robberies and knocking me off the bike and shit. I would leave for my paper route, and one time I was delivering papers for two different newspapers, the Daily Breeze and the Herald Examiner. I'd start off with a bike and I'd come walking home with the papers over my shoulder, carrying the damn things. So I had no fighting skills, no confidence, a lot of insecurities, self-esteem issues, the whole bit. I've always said the biggest mystery is that I'm not gay, because there was like a house full of women and, fucking Barbie dolls and shit. And no, that's not what the story is. I'm not going to come out of the closet on YouTube. But I'm going to do that later on a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we were very poor. You know, we were on welfare, and we're spending food stamps, and you know, we had no car and that kind of shit. You know, we were always just one step away from being homeless. Now, my mother's mother, they were like very well to do. They had bought this huge house, and they bought it east of Crenshaw, just south of Imperial Highway. For those of you from California, totally all black neighborhood now. And at that, in those days, they were like one of maybe two of the white families left in that whole area. You know, and that is right on the doorstep of Watts, where their projects are and such. That'll be important in a minute. So here they were, and they had, you know, we looked at them as, the kids, we looked at them as being very wealthy. We were that fucked up part of the family that, you know, I think that my grandmother was ashamed of, understandably so, as I've gotten older. Long story short, they were going on a cruise, you know, and they really were fond of my cousin. That was my mom's brother's daughter, and spoiled her rotten. And you know, in their mansion, I call it a mansion. It was a very big house, beautiful house. They had a room that was especially for her, and had all her toys and such. And one of the things that she had that there was a brand new Schwinn. You know, we call them derailleurs in those days. They're like, you know, the 10-speed bikes. It was like, you know, something that a guy like me could only dream of. You know, I mean, just looking at it, let alone ever riding it. They go on this cruise, and they're going to be gone for a couple weeks. And they, for whatever reason, decided to let us live in the house there for 2 weeks. You know, watch their house, feed their cat and their turtle and all this shit. This beautiful backyard, completely landscaped and whatnot. And while we were there, we could, you know, my mom could use her car, which, you know, we always were carless. That's another story. My mom would, whenever she got a car, she'd crash it, or she lost, I think, 5 or 6 cars. I mean, she'd be driving drunk, slam into somebody, hide the car behind a gas station, and then sober up 2 days later, couldn't remember where it was hidden. That kind of shit. For 2 weeks, these poor white trash motherfuckers, us, were going to live a life of luxury. You know, food in the refrigerator, cupboards, clean house, you know, fucking sunken bathtub, shit that, you know, a kid my age, I couldn't even have imagined, you know, something like that. And you know, here I was, you know, 7 or 8 years old. I think it was about 8. It was unbelievable. Right there we were. Now, there was on 120th Street, and again, I only name these for the people that are from the area. They'll remember this stuff. There was a store called the Cork and Bottle Liquor Store. It was on Crenshaw, just north of 120th. That was probably 7 blocks west of where we were. And again, this whole neighborhood was black. There were no white kids anywhere in that neighborhood walking around. Hi, Charlie. And Charlie, stop that. Stop being a baby. He wants something to eat. Charlie, stop. God, he's so fucking cute. I love this dog. Charlie. Now, they leave. We're in the house. You know, everything's going good. That green Schwinn is in the garage. And, you know, every time that garage is open, I look at that bike and I just think to myself, God damn, man, what would that be like to ride something like that? My dreams were answered, because one day, you know, kind of late in the afternoon, pretty late in the afternoon, my mom was, you know, ripped, just fucked up, drinking and shit. And she says, you know, hey, you know, go down to the liquor store there and get me a fucking newspaper and whatever the fuck else she wanted. In those days, you know, you could buy cigarettes and shit for your parents. Just give you a note. Salem's, 2 packages of Salem's. This is what I got. You know, I normally would walk that walk, which was, you know, like fucking taking your life in your hands, man. And I asked her, I said, hey, is there any chance I could take that bike, take so-and-so's bike? That was, by the way, that was one of the rules that my grandmother had set in place was, don't fucking let the kids touch that bike or any of, my cousin's toys. So, we were jealous and shit. And, my sister and I. At that point, there was just one sister. I think the other one was in a foster home, my oldest one, and the other one, who knows where the fuck she was. So, she's like, you ain't taking that fucking bike and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, Mom, come on, I'll be safe. I promise you. I'll lock it up and blah, 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 blah. For whatever reason, man, she said, all right. But she told me, and my mom was big. And when my mom was no bullshit. She was, big and thick and, she didn't slap kids. She fucking used weapons and fists and shit. And she said, you let something happen to that fucking bike, man, and don't come home. That kind of shit. I don't want to lock it up and blah, blah, blah. So I get on the fucking bike, and I just can't believe I'm riding this bike. So it'd be like if somebody let you, drive their fucking Lamborghini. That's what it felt like to me. Always getting old fucked up bikes and shit. So now I'm on this fucking brand new bike, man, and I still have my mother's fucking angry face, If something happens to it, don't come home, I'll fucking kill you. And I'm riding along, man. I start heading west, down this fucking long street. And, this bike, it's like I'm driving a fucking Maserati or something, man. I'm just in heaven, changing gears and shit. And, as I fucking got about 3 blocks away from the store, there's this group of 3 or 4 black teenagers. And, they were gangster types. And, the t-shirts and khakis and shit. And just scary looking at me. I mean, because these guys look like they were 17-ish. To me, it was like fucking, they were like giants, man. And, it was one of those things where you could see, hey, man, look at this motherfucker coming down the street, a little cracker. And I saw them, and I realized that, uh-oh. So I kind of fucking moved over, so I was on the other side of the street, and they're standing over there, and I pass them. Well, as I pass them, I look back, and the biggest one of them he's jogging, not running fast. He's just jogging behind me, and I'm getting further ahead of him. In hindsight, as I got older, I realized that he knew where I was going. There's the only white kid that probably has ever come down that fucking street in his entire life, and I'm heading toward the store. Where else would I be fucking going? So I get to the store. I lock the bike up to a fucking light pole. Wrap the lock around, lock it. I'm feeling good. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I go into the store. I get my fucking mom's cigarettes. I fucking get the fucking Sunday paper, which, was like that fucking thick. Not easy to ride a bike with that shit. So I come out and I look left, I look right, I fucking make sure everything's cool. Nobody there. I unlock the fucking bike. I get on the bike. I turn around and I'm going back east now. So on the same, on the sidewalk. And as I fucking get toward the end of the building, it opens up into a parking lot. But just as I pass the wall, I see this black fucking fist, man, just coming out of nowhere. Boom! And it clotheslined me, man. I'm sorry. Clotheslined me right off of that fucking bike, man. And, down on the ground, fucking slammed my head into the cement. And, it kind of newspapers flying all over the fucking place. Hang on a second, that's gotta be my dad. Hang on. Yep, that's my dad. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Mike. Hey, listen, if you find yourself up really late, you're an hour ahead of us. Say it's about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock your time. Would you call me? I'm setting the alarm. I have to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning. I just got one alarm.
Can you believe that since the time that has elapsed from that phone ringing has been over 3 hours I've been talking to my dad? That's standard procedure. Him and I calls up for a 2-minute fucking thing and we end up talking for 3 hours. It's funny because we didn't really have any relationship when I was younger, but now we're like best friends, so it's kind of cool. I can look at myself in the monitor. I'm fucking tired, man. It's 2:15 in the morning now, so I've got to finish this story. But clearly I'm exhausted, and it may have a different tone, but I'll try to get through it. So I rewound the tape a little and saw where I left off. So I get hit. I'm riding on the bike. I get hit by this dude. It was the guy that had been jogging after me, obviously. And he punches me in the face, and shit's flying all over the place. I'm on the ground, and there goes my cousin's bike, man, down the fucking sidewalk, and gone, man, right back toward where those guys were. And I mean, I'm hurt. I'm scared. So about 9 or 10 years old was more accurate. And now I got a dilemma because it's getting later, and I pick up the bag with the Salem's in it, and the newspapers. That's a loss. That's gone. And I'm crying, and I need to get back. My biggest fear is, I've got to get back to the house, and I was afraid because I got to go past these guys that are up there, and now I'm an easy target. I've been walking, so I remember running eastbound in people's yards, trying to stay, like a soldier, man, trying to stay out of sight from the people on the street, which I couldn't see them anymore. And the short story is I ended up getting all the way home terrified that I was going to get jumped by these guys, and I never saw them again. But I get home, or to my grandmother's house, and I come in, and my mom's drunk, and she's like a wild maniac when she drinks in those days. And I'm thinking for some reason that when she sees me with my fucking bloody lip and swollen face, that she's gonna be upset that her son is fucked up. So I walk in, I rush in, and I'm crying, and when I saw her, it just all came out. Oh, Mom, she's like, what the fuck happened? And I was like, wait, no, I gotta tell you, where's my newspaper? And I'm like, hold on, Mom, I got beat up. I got beat up. And she's like, you what? And, this guy beat me up. And she says, where's that bike? You better not tell me that bike's gone. Hang no. Sorry. And I'm crying. I'm like, yeah, he took the bike. It was a big guy. And she flipped out, man. You motherfucker. How could you? No, I knew that was gonna happen. Blah, blah, blah. You fucking did you? Blah blah blah. Get your ass out here. We're gonna go find that bike. And I'm like, now she's freaking out. Mad at me, and so I didn't get any comfort that I thought that I was hoping I'd get. So we go out and we get in my grandma's car, and like I said, my mom's drunker than fuck, and she wants to drive around. You show me where this happened. You show me where it happened. So, it was down the street, and you make her. And we're driving down there, and I'm terrified, thinking, my God, what's going to happen if we do see these guys? And the whole time, she's, you're a pussy. You're a fucking pussy. I can't believe you let one guy take your bike. And I'm like, man, the guy was huge, And she's, you're a worthless fuck. You worthless fuck. What a loser. That's a word I hate to this day. You're a fucking loser. God damn it, you let. And she's yelling at the top of her lungs, and of course those guys aren't there, and sun's going down, it's getting dark, and we're gonna find this one. So she's driving around this neighborhood, like a maniac, and every time she sees somebody, she's pulling up, and tell them what happened. I'm like, did you see anybody on a green Schwinn? Blah blah blah. No. We're looking for a bike. This fucking pussy just let some guy take it. Let one guy take it. And she's yelling at people are like shocked. Well, now the sun goes down. So it's dark. And, she starts going east. And I mean, that's like, we're already in a fucked up area. But if you go further east, now you're getting into like cross Main Street and shit. You're getting into southeast, and this is the projects area, Now we're talking Nickerson Gardens area, Jordan Downs, that kind of place. You know, and I think we ended up on 102nd Street, which, you know, years later I would be a Los Angeles police officer cruising that very same neighborhood. Uh, Seen a lot of people get killed there too, um, cops and bad guys. So, you know, we're rolling around, and it's hours later. It's late at night now. It's dark, and she just won't stop. You know, and the whole time, so I'm getting barraged with what a pussy I am. Then it happens. On 102nd, I think it was 102nd. There's this, you know, we're in the middle of the fucking ghetto, man. I mean, this is like no man's land, especially for a white lady and a white kid, a white guy. It's just not the right place to be. And up in front of us, I see this mob of gangbangers. And, you know, they're decked out. These are Crips, you know, they got their blue rags and the fucking, you know, white t-shirts and the Jerry curl and the fucking, you know, some of them have tank tops on and they're all buffed out. And, you know, to me, it was the scariest thing I could imagine, because there's got to be maybe 10 of them, 10 or 11 of them standing on the sidewalk, some in the street, you know, just shucking and jiving and doing their thing. And I'm like, and I tell my mom, I say, hey, don't stop, don't stop. What are you doing? Because she's slowing down. You shut the fuck up, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Mom, you don't stop. You don't want to stop here. And I'm thinking, man, this is gonna go sideways on us, you know. And you know, she's got the windows down, her window down, and she's, you know, immediately when she stops, they see a white lady. And my mom in those days was younger, and, you know, she wasn't bad looking, I guess. And here they come, you know, fucking. It's really they just swarm the fucking car, and it's everybody talking at once. And you know, you can imagine how scary this is for this little cracker sitting there, and it's like, yo, bitch, what's up? You know, what are you doing out here, motherfucker? What's she looking for, baby? You know, and she's like, yeah, you know, did you guys see somebody on a green bike? Oh, bitch, I see you on a green bike, you know, that kind of shit. And she just keeps on talking, and they're like, what's going on, baby? What is it you looking for, you know? What you doing down here, man? Y'all motherfuckers must be lost and shit. This pussy sitting next to me, you know, can you believe this? You know, now the crowd's growing because the people I hadn't even seen now they see there's a car stopped and there's some action there. It's a hot summer night. Now there's fucking more coming, man. And, you know, the 9 or 10 now it's just turned into 15 or 20, and there's more people coming out to see what the fuck's going on. If you've ever been in the fucking ghetto, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it just becomes like a fucking nightmare. And, you know, so she's like, can you believe that this fucking pussy, you know, he rode his cousin's bike, and, you know, brand new. And one guy knocked him off that bike and took it, and he didn't even fight back. And now they're yelling at me, and it's like, you know, I can't decipher what they're, you know, heads are coming over the car. It's like something out of fucking Jurassic Park, you know, it's like dinosaurs and shit coming out there, you know. Hey, man, hey, little man, open the door, motherfucker, open up this door. You know, my door's locked, and I'm fucking scared, thinking, and I'm going, Mom, just go, just drive. You shut the fuck up, you know. And, you know, all of a sudden she says, this, can you believe he doesn't even fight? He doesn't even fight. He's like a girl, you know, he doesn't even know how to fight. And they're like, damn, man, that's messed up. You know, why don't you guys show him what it's like? You know, why don't you fucking teach him a little lesson about being such a pussy? And now it becomes very dreamlike. It's almost like a shooting where I'm thinking, you know, my brain's like, what the fuck is she? What? And then all of a sudden, yeah, man, yeah, come on out here, motherfucker. Come out here, man. We'll show you some shit, motherfucker. Get your white ass out that car. And I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? You know, and she's like, get out of the car. And I'm like, Mom, what the I'm not going to say what the fuck, but I'm like, I'm not going to. You know, and she leans over and she fucking unlocks my door. And I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? The door immediately opens now. And I got, you know, fucking people struggling to come into this fucking car to get me out of the car. She's like, yeah. She's starting to push me. It's like a nightmare. I mean, if you can imagine your mom shoving you into your death. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no chance that I'm going to fucking survive this. I mean, if I get out of this fucking car, I'm just dead. That's it. And, you know, there's hands reaching in and they're pulling me, and she's like, "Get him out, get him the fuck out. You kick his fucking ass, you know, make a man out of him. He's a pussy." And sure enough, man, they're pulling, and she starts pushing, and I go out the fucking car, and now I'm on the fucking street, and I'll never forget it, man. The fucking door closed on the car, and she just fucking took off, and I can still see those fucking tail lights on that motherfucking that car. And I'm just like, it's like you can't imagine that your own mother would do something like that. And I am, you know, in my young mind, it was weird because I was absolutely convinced that I was going to die, and part of me was wondering how, you know, if it was going to hurt, because I'm looking up on the ground crying, and I'm looking up, and I see these buffed out guys, and it's a hardcore fucking, you know, full on, you know, thugs, you know. Hey man, what the fuck, motherfucker, man? Get up, motherfucking punk ass bitch, motherfucker, motherfucker. Your own mom's fucking calls you a fucking pussy and shit. Yeah, man, fuck him up. And the crowd's getting, it's just like a sea of fucking white t-shirts and Jerry curl. And every one of them is talking about what they're going to do to me. And all of a sudden I hear this fucking commotion. And it was weird as I hear this deep voice, you know. "Oh man, so motherfuckers, man, back the fuck up, motherfucker." And I'm like, it was weird because it was like a school of fish. All these guys, I sensed them. They just stopped and were looking over my shoulder. And I hear a little bit more commotion, and all of a sudden I look up, you know, over my, because I'm in the street, and there's this fucking buffed out big dude. Now, in retrospect, the guy was probably only 18, 18 or 19, maybe, probably 18. Diet Coke, I don't drink. And this dude, you know, I didn't realize this then, but years later, you know, in a career with the police department and dealing with people, this guy had done some time. I mean, this dude was yoked up, man, and cut, and was clearly OG, man, original gangster for you non-city people. Meaning that this dude has some street cred, some clout. He was somebody. And guys were like, "Man, we're going to fuck this little dude, man. Back the fuck up, man." I said, "Back up, man." And the guy comes over, he stands over, he's looking down at me. And he's just like it's like a fucking, he's just chiseled out of fucking granite. The guy's like powerful, man. I just can't describe what he looked like to my young eyes looking up at this dude. And, you know, and I could see that these people were very, they were not going to fuck with this guy. And whatever he said was the rule. You know, and everybody's kind of muttering and shit. "Man, you should stomp that little motherfucking red-headed motherfucking Peckerwood motherfucking cock-ass motherfucking bitch-ass. You know, man, shut the fuck up," the big guy. And he's looking down at me, man. Flexed out, man. Neck huge and shit. Just a fucking muscle. Just a giant muscle. Deep voice and shit, man. And he's like, "Man, get up, little man. Man, get up, stand up, man." And I'm still crying. He's like, "Man, come here, stand the fuck up, man." And somehow I had this instinctive feeling that there was a little chance that maybe I wasn't going to die right there. That something had changed. Yeah, the atmosphere changed. You know, I could feel it. Something was different now. The crowd was fucking triple size now. It's fucking huge, man. All these Crips. So he gets up and he's, you know, I'm looking up at this guy. And I stand up and he's like, "Man, dust yourself off, man." He's like, "Man, why are you over here, man?" And then people are yelling shit. I mean, "Man, motherfucker, I told you, man, the motherfucker's moms and shit fucking just threw his ass out the car, man. She said fuck him up, man. So we finna fuck him up. You know, man, why we don't fuck him up? Look at, man, motherfucking cracker out here and shit, man. Little red-headed motherfucker and shit. I'll fucking, motherfucker, come on." You know, "Hey, man, back the fuck off," the big guy says. Come here, man. Come here. Walk with me, man. Talk with me, man. Man, did your mom drop you off out here? I'm like, yes. You know, why your moms do that, man? I don't understand. I said, you know, cause I'm a pussy, and she's man, I don't want to hear that shit, man. Tell me straight up, what happened, man? So I tell him the story. Oh, I got knocked off the bike. I wasn't supposed to ride it, and I asked her to, and then this guy knocked me off. Man, how old was this dude? I said, I don't know. He was older than me and bigger and blah blah blah. Did you fight, man? I said no. But why didn't you fight, man? I don't understand. Why you let somebody fuck you up, man? Why you let somebody punk you off and shit? Take your shit. I know I'm not doing a good imitation of a black guy, but you get it. So, I just told him, I said, I don't know how to fight, which was true. I was raised with girls, man. I did not know how to fight. I knew how to get beat up. I mean, I had a lot of fucking practice at that. I was good at that. Uh, I mean, I was getting beat up in those days so much. I used to just kick my own ass before I went to school just so I'd be warmed up for the shit I had to go through just to get there. And, he asked me, well, where you stay at, man? And, I didn't know the address because it wasn't my house, but I told him, I said, it's over there by Crenshaw. Now it's fucking dark and late, man. It's like fucking, who knows, midnight. And he's like, man, you got to get your ass up on out this motherfucker, man. You can't be up in this motherfucker. Motherfucking niggas be killing your ass and shit. Come on, man. Show me where you live. And I'm thinking, this guy's gonna, what? This guy's saving my life here? And I'm like, well, it's kind of far. I mean, I'm not really even sure. I just know that if you have to go past Crenshaw, come on, man, let's go. And then some of the guys are starting to tag on. He's, man, get the fuck off, man. I got this shit, man. I got this shit. And so now we got this long fucking walk, man. I mean, it's the fucking late at night. Gunfire going. I mean, no bullshit. You hear gunfire going off. This is the way the fucking neighborhood was in those days. And we're walking and talking, and he's asking me a lot of questions about, he was actually genuinely surprised and shocked that somebody's mother would do that. And I wasn't bad mouthing my mom, but I was telling him, that she's not like that when she's not drinking. Yeah, man, but that ain't right, man. I mean, that's some fucked up shit, man. I seen some shit in my life, man, but man, your moms did that? That's wrong, man. That's just wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, as long as we're walking and as long as we're talking, I may live. I may live to see the sun come up. I'm serious. I really was counting on fucking dying. And so we walk and we talk, and I was pretty much telling him our situation at home. I mean, it wasn't a good situation. No dad. And you just heard me talk to my dad, but I didn't really have a relationship with him, a close one, till really I got out of the army. I mean, mostly phone calls and shit before that. But I mean, I have no memory of my dad ever in my life when I was a little kid, because he was gone when I was very young. I can't imagine why he wouldn't stay with my mom. So, we ended up a long time later getting to the house. I knew how to get there, but I didn't know the address. So there we are. And he had been telling me about how hey, little man, you need to learn how to handle yourself, man. Because if you can't handle yourself, somebody else is gonna handle you, man. Them motherfucking fools up there, man, they kill your ass. It's a good thing for you, man. I was in the area and shit. And I'm thinking, yeah, and I thanked him, and I'm like, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And no, man, no, we got to go deeper than that, man. It's deep. We got to get deeper. And I'm thinking, what's he talking about? And he said, look here, man. Look here. I'm going to be right here tomorrow, man. At 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be right here on this motherfucker. and I need to spend some time. Somebody needs to show you how to fight, man. I need to show you how to handle your business, man. You ain't gonna make it, man. You understand? And I'm just like so happy to be home. You know, I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, that's okay. You'll be here at 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock, man. Have your shit ready. And thank you so, you know, thank you. And he leaves, and I go in the house, and my mom's all fucking, you know, not worried at all, man. You know, she half fucking cacked out, and she's like, well, fuck, you know, the pussy's home. I don't suppose you have the bike, you know, that kind of shit. And then she passed out, and that was that. And oh man, that must be my dad again. Oh, that's my daughter. No, I haven't heard from my daughter in a long time, so I'm gonna answer it. Hello?
Really? You think that?
Yeah. Hey, hang on 1 second.
Why are you sleeping, first of all?
Well, what were you trying to just leave me a voicemail?
I was.
Why is that? Why have you not been talking to me? What did I do to you?
No, because on the East Coast, like, there's no reason that you're not in bed right now.
I haven't been to bed before 4 o'clock in the morning for the last 3 years.
Dad, I'm not kidding you. I've called 5 people before you on the West Coast, and nobody answered my phone call. And then I called you on the East Coast, and you answered. Like, that makes no sense.
Well, you know, I don't go to sleep until about 3 or 4 in the morning, unfortunately, and then I get up at 7. That's how I roll.
What is wrong with you? I even actually called Colin.
You're on a. Actually, I'm making a YouTube video, and you're on it right now. So let me stop it. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so just now you know that I wasn't lying. That is my daughter. So let me pause this, and I'll be right back to you. Okay, take a good look at my face. I don't drink. I'm not drunk. You won't believe this. Now, I started this video at 10 o'clock last night. It's now 6:11 a.m. I am not going to quit. I'm going to finish this goddamn story if it's the last fucking thing I do. And my wife's going to wake up for work in 15 minutes. I started the video. My dad called. We talked for 3 hours, I think. We got back on the video. My daughter called. And she's in California and I'm in Virginia. And we just hung up. I mean, that was another 6 hours of phone call. In between the story I'm trying to tell you. It was a great conversation with her. She's 25 and, you know, father-daughter kind of stuff. So it was important, but man, I'm fucking tired, and I got my dog here. He's going to want to go to the PARK soon. But anyways, where did I leave off? I left off with that guy standing there, and he said he was going to be back at 9 o'clock in the morning. And sure enough, man, the next morning, the doorbell rang, and here's this big dude standing there. Just like he said, 9 o'clock sharp, man. And, you know, we went into the backyard of my grandpa's house, and he was going through basic, you know, hand-to-hand combat stuff, street fighting kind of stuff. And, you know, come at me and do this, that, and the other thing. And we were out there for hours. And you know, he left, and he said he was going to be back the next morning. And the next morning, the doorbell rang, and here's this fucking gangbanger, all fucking fresh and clean and ready to go. We go in the backyard and fucking on the ground, punching, all kinds of shit. Just, you know, like a guy training a boxer. You know, no, you know, you're socking like a girl. You want to come straight in. You want to do this. Twist your fist as you hit. You know, don't be don't talk. Don't stand there talking, man. When it's time to fight, and you know you're gonna fight, the object is the win, man. Take the first punch. You know, you give them the first punch. You know, this is where you hit somebody to knock them out. You want to knock them out, you got to snap that jaw, that kind of shit. And Oddly enough, at some point early in the, just before noon, my mom actually came out, which was very weird, and she had sandwiches and made lunch for us. It was very surreal. So me and this guy were eating, and back to the training, and he left, and the next morning he showed up again, and he showed up for a total of 4 days. That guy, that gang member, that Crip, the guy who had stopped for sure, probably the worst ass whipping that could have happened to somebody, and possibly saved my life. And who knows how many times he saved my life, because I grew up and went in the military, and goddamn, I got in a lot of fights in the army, and then I went on to become a cop in L.A. No shortage of fisticuffs there. And all throughout my life, through different times, I've thought back to that guy, and for $1 million, I couldn't tell you his name. That hardcore gang member dude saw a little kid, a little white kid. I was like a piece of salt in the pepper shaker, getting ready to get devoured. And more importantly, he was a man of his word. He escorted me home safely through a very bad neighborhood. He told me that he would be there, and he did show up. I learned a lot from him, not just fighting skills. I wonder whatever happened to him.